Hello guys, MikuChibi here. Welcome back to another one in the Factor, and today we are going to react to Ogrelink's tier list. Yes, this is his first time doing a tier list as far as I know, and this time we're gonna be a Power Rise 3 tier list. This is gonna be really interesting when it comes to Power Rise because there are some Power Rise that is bad, then there's some Power Rise that is good, and also there's Power Rise that are like kind of situational where you want to use it in specific fight. So gonna be interesting how we rate. If we can see here, it looks like we're gonna rate it from S, A, B, C, D, E, F. Ooh, that might be hard. I guess it's too many tier in my opinion. I will rate it something else. We'll see, maybe in the end of the video I will make my own Power Rise 3 tier list for another video, or maybe this video, we'll see. So let's have a look at 80 minutes. Ooh, I guess it's pretty long discussion. We're gonna speed it up. Okay, let's talk game. Let's have a look on this video.
Ability with the Power Rise 3 skill is one of the best skills to get in the game. However, we have 43 of such skills so far.
43 Power Rise, okay.
To answer that questions, I have created this tier list comparing all of the Power Rise 3 skills. I thought it would be simple, but it ended up being very challenging to rank the skills, especially the one in the middle tier that I will explain later.
I mean, making tier list is really hard. You have to consider a lot of things.
I want to rank it differently, and we can certainly discuss it in the comment below if you do not agree with the way that I rank them. Let's start with the top tier, which is the S tier. There are 3 skills that deserve to be at the top spot, and all of them have multiple bonuses.
Okay, let me guess. Unsinkable Hercliff, really good. This Yuki here. And then Kirito. Or Kirito is getting old. I think there's a better one. But Kirito definitely is somewhere there. Maybe A tier. Maybe. Let's see. Am I right?
That can increase our damage when the right character skills are used, which makes them the best Power Rise 3 skills. The first skill that we are going to take a look here is the Unsinkable Barrier Heatcliff skill.
Okay, I'm right.
This skill is an awakening
Power
Rise 3 skill with Flame Conversion 4 that gives up to 25% fire element at the cost
really
of
good
10%
Power Rise 3, definitely really good and really flexible as well. Works in any build.
20% attack, 200% skill switch damage, and 10% critical damage when we don't use any Kirito skill. 20% attack is really good, and 200% switch damage is going to be very useful with the introductions of the chain skill recently. That will increase our DPS during the chain period as we can make all of our skills doing a switch. The 10% critical damage is nice, but with the higher level bosses, hitting critical is really hard with the boss's critical resistance, so it will not be as useful, and I would rank this lower than this next skill here,
maybe
which
in
is
event.
the Resurrecting
really
Clash
useful in event.
Yuki skill, which is the skill right here. So it's a bit weird because I cannot scroll. Because my screen is probably smaller, but yeah, this skill here rank a little bit better than the Heatcliff skills.
Little bit better?
This is because this is a skill with the Power Rise 3 and Shine Conversion 4 that give up 25% Holy Element damage at a cost of minus 10% Dark Element damage. And on
interesting. In his tier list, those that are on the left side is much better those on the right side and far right. Okay, interesting. This Power Rise here is definitely really good, really strong as well. Really good in any Holy build. You only need to equip 1 Elizabeth and maybe 1 Sirka and you're good to go. Really flexible. You don't really need the Asuna, Lifa or Xenon. Xenon I would say maybe for Axe build, or Asuna for Rapier build. Definitely for Rapier, really good. 30% crit damage with full burst. Other than that, really flexible. But in my opinion, this Hercliff is much better than the Yuki. That is just my opinion. The reason why, we don't really care about the element because they are really good in their own specific element, but you don't need to equip any Kirito skill. That means you are flexible with this passive skill in any build. You can put it on Rapier, in Axe, in Spear, in Bow build, in any set. Except for Sword, or there are some specific builds. For example, if you're building just Yuki skill or Yuki set or Ali set, then you can equip this Hercliff, really good, because though doesn't require to have Kirito in this build. So it is really flexible and also really strong. That means you can equip any other pass skill. Meanwhile, this Yuki here, you are forced to equip Elizabeth and Silka. So you're wasting 2 slots out of 8. Including Yuki, you have now used 3 slots and only can equip 5 more slots. It can be random Silka active, random Elizabeth active or passive. But with Hercliff, you don't really need to equip any Kirito and you're only using 1 slot. Now you can add whatever you want in your set. So I will rank Hercliff far left higher than Yuki. That is my opinion based on how he's ranking his tier list. but he ranked it Yuki much better. Okay.
Damage. And on top of that, it also has a bonus that increases our attack by 25%, and switch skill damage by 200%, and the critical damage by 30%.
Yeah, the only different attack is 5%, which can be a lot.
You can see why this is better, because it gives 25% as opposed to the 20% attack and the head cleave skills. It also has a higher critical damage bonus at 30%. Even though, as mentioned before, at the higher level bosses, hitting critical is a real luxury that only a very specific skill can do, so it's almost a write-off. And if you think that this...
Okay, if we use basing on how strong the passive is compared to other power rise, then I kind of agree that Yuki should be better there. But if you also include in how flexible the build is, I will actually put Hercliff far left.
Skill is already good. There is one more skill that is even better than those two, which is Walking After the Rain Silica skill.
Oh, this one. I don't really remember this one.
This is an Awakening Power Rise 3 skill.
Okay, this one... Okay, I can see that one be really strong, but I will actually put it far left. I will actually... If it's used for S tier, I'll put Hercliff as number 1, Yuki number 2, and this Silica number 3. Silica, you need to equip one more Silica, and maybe another Silica if you want this slash weakness. Elizabeth, you can equip 1. Why is it 2? Shouldn't this one be blunt? I'm pretty sure. Pablo, are you watching this video? Please, this is a typo, Pablo. And AGL 10% HP, you don't really need that. So you only need to focus on these 4 here. Depends on the build. It's not really that flexible, I would say, unless you can build around that. But 3 Silica skill, that means you have to add 2 more Silica skill. Mainly for dagger, I would say is good. But when it comes to sword, you're wasting then 3 slots. Elizabeth is good as well. You only need 1. Then if you want to, for the blunt, you need to equip 2 more. Or 1 more Elizabeth. This one is kind of conditional, a lot of conditional. I will rank it the best. I will rank it as third best, as S tier. That is what I think when we are comparing all these 3 here. So Hercliff should be on rank 1, Yuki 2, and Silica 3. It is because how you want to build around the power rise. It is not the best flexible. You can still play around it. That is for sure in other weapon, but when it comes to most flexible that can be used in any build, Hercliff shine the most. And the only difference is the 5% attack, that's it.
Skill with a Dark Conversion 4 that can give up to 25% Dark Element at a cost of minus 10% Holy Element, and has other bonus that can give 25% attack, 15% damage against Slash Element enemy, 15% damage against Blunt Element enemy, and 200% switch skill damage when we equip certain character skill. This is the most damage-related bonus that you can get from one skill. The 15% slash and blunt damage certainly is smaller compared to the previous 30% critical damage, but it is more versatile because we don't need to hit critical to get the bonus. So it is more useful against the higher level bosses, and for that reason, I have this skill at the top of the list. All these skills are also an Awakening skill, which means that we can get more damage when we activate Rush. With these skills, unfortunately, the Rush bonus for all of them are not the best as they are.
And not the best? I kind of like it. Sometimes it can be useful, like only one time. For example, Squad Jumble, it can be really good. Only once.
Only remove the status ailment from the player. Of course, they're only gonna be the best one if you can activate all of their bonuses. Now that we have seen the top skill, let's jump to the bottom of the list, which is the F tier. There is only one skill in this tier, which is the Dark God of Dignity Factor skill.
I agree, 100% agree here.
Right here.
It's so bad. I don't know why they introduced it.
And the reason why this is in the F.
The funny part is that they released 3 Awakening Power Rise before this Vecta, which is this limited skill. Alice, Lifa, and Yuki, they released it before this Vecta, and somehow they managed to make it worse. I don't know why.
Tier is because the other bonus that we can get other than the Power Rise 3 is
okay, we can skip this one. It is a bad skill.
The E tier, we have something that's arguably slightly better, which are the Axel Power Rise 3 skill. This skill, well, it does not have any other bonuses that increase damage. Each of them have some very useful status resistance and healing. As well as being the Axel ability skill, it will increase the Axel durations. These skills are the Light as Silk Argo with the paralysis resistance, and Shot will be fired Kirito with the petrifications resistance, and Solid Growth Silica with sleep resistance. And the last but not least is the Sky Cruising Yuki with the stun resistance. Moving back to the A tier now.
Wait, they are E tier? No way. How are they E tier? Sure, they are not awakening, they are not full burst or something like that, but the resistant is really good for endgame content. For example, this one Kirito, you can use it with other pass skill that can give element if you have that. If you have an advanced trooper with element, dark element, then you can equip Kirito really good. You also have the healing. When it comes to endgame, there are a lot of bosses that deal a lot of damage and also applying item seal, which make it harder to use your pot, healing pot, with a passive that gives you healing as a passive every 3 seconds, which can be really useful when it comes to those situations. For example, high battle healing, really good passive effect. Then we have hold the font, also really good. So passive that gives a lot of stuff that can be really good in those situational is really good. So all the 4 here, those 4 he rated E rank. I would actually put them between B or C. You only use this depends on the scenario, on the battle. If you can able to build around them, then it's really good. If you have other option, for example advanced trooper or any veteran technique that has element, then you can use them as well. So I would put them like maybe C or even B, because the resistance is really good and also really high if you max it. 70%, that means you can use a 30% resistance on your ring and you have 100% stun resistant, 100% petrified resistant or anything. So I would say they are really more useful than this Vecta. They shouldn't be this close. So either C or B. If I made my own tier list, I would actually put them C tier. It depends on the situation where you want to use them.
And awakening skills with a rush bonus that can increase stack by up to 10 stacks, which are together from now on UE, which has an Aqua Conversion 5 that increases water element by up to 30% at the cost of minus 15% fire element and 20% attack when we use 2 UE skills, and the Flashing Trial / Kirito skill that has a Shine Conversions 4 that increase the holy damage by 25% at the cost of minus 10% dark element and 20% attack when we use 1 Lifa skill. Now I put them here at the higher tier because lately the game has introduced a lot of skills with stack buff from Axel, Chain, and even some connect skills. 10 stack buff normally means 10% increase on the buff. While in itself it seems small, if you have multiple stack buff on yourself, like the attack stack,
I agree.
elemental damage,
they are
stack
really
buff,
strong,
stack buff,
especially with the rush stack.
You'll get
really
10%
useful.
attack, 10% elemental damage,
Definitely really good.
And 10%
If you are playing
damage
around
when you
stacks,
activate the
otherwise
rush,
you don't
which
really
is
need
huge.
that.
Because of that potential, so I put them at the top of the A tier.
Yeah, A tier, definitely
and the
really
UE here
good.
is slightly above the Kirito skill because it can give 5 more elemental damage. Slightly under those 2 skills are still in the A tier, which are the Full Burst Power Rise 3 skills, because equipping those skills can add
Full
1 more use
burst.
of the Full Burst skills.
Right.
But that's not the only reasons, as those skills also have bonuses that can increase 30% attack with the Frozen Integrity Knight Yu-Gi-Oh skill here that has 30% attack bonus.
That one is good.
Has
only issue is that this one is limited. You can't get it anymore. It was released last year, so if you miss it out, it is gone. It's gone forever. Unless they do a special where the game is kinda dead, maybe. I'm pretty sure it's not coming back because it was during a crossover or something like that, or they released a banner specific for the game, their old game that is like dead. Yeah. So if you are looking for this one, it's gone. It's forever gone.
Burn status, and the Apprentice Sorcerer Silica skills that can give 30% attack bonus when the enemy has Frostbite status. I would rank the Yu-Gi-Oh skill here slightly above the Silica because the burn status, we can get it from the free Kirito burst skills that can guarantee the burn. Meanwhile, skill record with Frostbite status are only obtainable through gacha and they are pretty rare. There's a third Full Burst Power Rise skill, which is the Proclamations of Domination's Arco skill that gives 30% damage when the enemy has any kind of marked debuff. I rank this lower than the other 2 because marked debuff usually lasts either only 1 use or a short period of time. However, this skill can potentially do more damage compared to the other 2 because the bonus is increasing damage instead of attack. I might be wrong, but I think the damage bonus is calculated after the weakness and the critical damage.
I don't know, I don't have it.
So moving on the B and C
I think
tier,
that
this
is
kind
of also limited, maybe.
Because they all can be useful in different situations. So technically I can put them all in one tier, but at the end I decided to group them based on their similar features and put them on a separate tier. On a B tier are the list of
separate tier, but then why did you put the Axel in E tier then? They can't be that bad. I mean, if you're a new player and did yet of Axel, they are still really useful. Don't believe that they're that bad. They're still really useful.
Of the rest of Awakening Power Rise 3 skills. Awakening skills are good because if we equip more than one awakening skill, each fully awakened awakening skill will increase our damage by additional 10% during rush, on top of the rush bonus. And at the top of the list, I put these 3 skills with Elemental Conversion 5 because they give 5% more damage compared to the Elemental Conversion 4 counterpart, and the one with the attack or switch damage as the rush bonus.
Okay.
These skills are the Spark in the Neon City Kirito with a Wind Conversion 5 and 5% attack for the rush bonus, and for Precious Memory Kirito skill with the Dark Conversion 5 and also 5% attack as the rush bonus. The third skill is the Rock by the Wave Liva skill with the Flame Conversion 5 and 15% switch skill damage. I ranked the one with the switch damage lower compared to the one with attack because attack is more versatile as it works with not just the switch skill. Although
Okay, he ranked them B tier. To be honest, they are really strong power rise. I would actually rank them A tier because they're that good. And you can use them in any weapon specific build for their element, so they are really strong.
Arguably, you probably will want to use your Rush and Chain at the same time, making the 15% switch damage more lucrative options. But I'll just use this order for now. Following closely below them are collections of similar Power Rise 3 skills that can give 20% attack when we equip or not equip certain characters, and different Elemental Conversion 4 and Rush bonus that increase attack by 5%, which are the Way of the Happiness, Alice skill, with the Flame Conversion 4, and Time to Relax Alice, and Cute Wolf Girl Asuna, both with the Water Conversion 4.
What?
Then we have a skill that gives 20% attack.
Wait, Asuna in B tier. Ooh, wait. Nah, there's no way you... Okay. Let's go back. These 3 here on A tier because they are really strong. I can agree that these allies and the other allies, they should be on B tier because they need specific more ally skill. So it's only a specific build where you're adding more ally skills. Alice doesn't have that many good passive skill, in my opinion. So it's really hard to build around the power rise. So I would say they're definitely B tier, but Asuna, you don't even need to equip one ally skill, which make it really flexible. And it can work in any weapon if you're building around water. Really good, really amazing. So I will actually put it on A tier. Not B. A tier for this Asuna, and the 2 allies, B tier.
And Cute Wolf Girl Asuna, both with the Water Conversion 4. Then we have a skill that gives 20% attack when we equip or not equip certain characters, and Elemental Conversion 4 with a 15% switch damage as the rush bonus, which are the Cool Juggling Agil. This one has the Flame Conversion 4. The Civilta Drago Silka. This one has a Earth Conversion 4. And the New York Game Silica with the Wind Conversion 4. Next we...
Wait. B tier. Agil I can see being B tier, but right now with the current meta, I actually can see this one be a little bit higher. Maybe far left B tier or close to A tier. At least close to A tier. Then we have the Silica. Since they are pretty much flexible and you only need one Elizabeth, I will actually put them A tier because how flexible they can be in their specific element build. Earth Conversion 4, and then we have...
Has a Earth Conversion 4, and the New York Game Silica.
Wind. So A tier because they are strong, really good as well. You only need one Elizabeth. And Elizabeth have some really good passive skill, and also you can just put a random active Elizabeth where you only use 3 active skill. So they are much better, definitely A tier.
With the Wind Conversion 4. Next we have this Blue Rose in the Night Sky Kirito skill.
No way adding this Kirito here on B tier. It is so flexible as well, and it's also strong. Like, you only need one Xeno skill, and there are many good Xeno pass skill. You don't really need this Asuna, this Lifa, Alice Yuju. You don't really care about that. You only need Xenon, and you can use it in any build, any weapon build. I would actually put this one on A tier. Yeah, A tier. Definitely A tier. Definitely A tier because how flexible you can use them. But I can understand if you are basing on their power, how strong the passive is. I am basing on how flexible it is, how good it can be used in any build, and how accessible it is. You can get this one in general poll. You can reroll for it. And for the other power rise, you can't really do that. They're really hard to get. For example, this Asuna is kind of limited. Alice, you can get it in general. Agil, you can't really get. There are some power rise that you can't get in general. So I will actually rate this Kirito A rank.
the tier rank because if you look at the bonuses, the one that's useful are mostly the 20% attack, just like any other Power Rise 3 skills that we have seen above. It does have 10% critical damage, but as mentioned earlier, higher level bosses have really high critical damage, making this bonus is not attractive. Plus, the rush bonus on this skill is only removing the status ailment, so for that reason I rank this skill below.
The rush is still useful, really good, especially squad jump full trust.
Those with the attack and the switch damage rush bonus. But the critical damage bonus there will put this skills little above the Invincible Journey Yuki, because despite the skill having the Earth Conversion 5,
this one is limited by the way, so if you want this one, it's gone. Your chance is pretty low. Pretty close to 0.
That will give 5% additional elemental damage compared to the other, the rush bonus is increasing up to 20% critical rate, which is very small considering the higher level bosses will have like 600% critical rate resistance. And at the bottom of the B tier is the Sea Gods game Xenon with the same 20% attack when we equip 3 Xenons and a Wind Conversion.
Okay, can I agree this
and
one?
The rush bonus
this one is
will
B
heal our
tier,
HP by 20%.
quite a specific build and
okay,
recover
moving on
HP.
To the C tier, the skill.
This pass is really funny. It requires 3 Xenon skill in your set, but it recovers your HP. And most Xenon skill are bow, where you play low HP. That is pretty funny.
Bonus that will heal our HP by 20%. Okay, moving on to the C tier. The skills here are collections of normal ability Power Rise 3 skills with the element Boost 4 that increases certain element damage by 40% at the cost of minus 50% of other elements, and 20% attack when we equip or not equip certain character skills. I put these skills in C tier because of the negative effect of minus 50% damage for other element, which means that these Power Rise 3 skills will only work for just one skill element. While if we have a set with just one element, arguably this may perform better compared to the skills in the B tier. These skills are less versatile and only works on specific element builds. The skills in the list in no particular order are Gazing into the Future Koharu and Start Maintenance Lisbeth with Dark Boost 4, School Madonna Asuna, and Leaping All About Yuki with the Fire Boost 4, Break and Rose Yujio, and Brave Song Kirito with the Shine Boost 4, Refreshing Grape Soda Koharu with Aqua Boost 4, and My Feeling Silica with Earth Boost 4. At the top of
okay, I can understand why I put them C tier, but that doesn't mean they are weak. They are still strong, really useful in specific build. Yes, in specific build. You can combine with 2 power rise. Use that you won't get the 800 attack added to a 800 attack, but you will get the element boost. For example, if you equip in this Kirito here that has the Dark 4, which give you 20% dark element damage, was it? And then you add this Koharu, you will get another 40% dark element damage, which is really useful. So you can do that in a specific build, that is for sure. I will actually rank all this here he put here in B tier because they are really strong in their specific build. Really hard to be flexible, that is for sure, but they definitely do not deserve to be in C tier. That's why I don't really like to make a tier list which is based on like S tier to F tier. It's really hard and really specific. That's why when you watch my video, when I do tier list, I don't have A, B, C, D. I have like different tier lists for specific scenario. So if I had my own tier list, I will actually maybe add this B and C together in one tier. Then D, E, I will remove it. F tier will become to a trash, which only Vector belongs there. S tier, really amazing. A tier, strong. That's how I will make my tier list. If I made a Power Rise 3 tier list.
Top of this tier though, I have a non-awakening skills that work differently, which is the 50s Lady Yuki, which makes it to the top because it does not have any negative effect. This Power Rise 3 skill also comes with the Ground Dance 5 that increase earth damage by up to 25% and 30% slash damage if you don't use any Kirito skill. That is really good, especially for slash weapon. Last but not least, at D tier, we have the normal ability skills with the Element Conversion 4 that boosted one element damage by 25% at the cost of minus 10% of one other element, and 20% attack when equipping or not equipping certain character skills in a particular order. And in no particular order, we have Wishing Upon the Daruma Yui with the Flame Conversion 4, Lovely Mermaid Lisbeth with the Wind Conversion 4, A Glimpse of Business Yui with the Shine Conversion 4, and slightly below this is this Spring Lilac Yuki with Earth Conversion 4, and instead of getting 20% attack with a certain character, this skill has bonus that increases attack by 3.5% per Yuki character in the set. I put this
okay. The 3 first here, I'll put them C tier, because how you can use them and build around them. You don't really need awakening stuff. Yuki here is only specific for Yuki and it's pretty bad effect in my opinion. Especially the future Yuki, the modern Yuki doesn't need the element damage. The earth one is pretty bad. So I would say this one in D tier, definitely fit in D tier.
This skill has bonus that increases attack at least 6 Yuki characters in the set to make the skill better than the other. So it is harder to fit it on any set. Then I also put the limited edition Persona Power Rise 3 skills at the bottom of this tier list because while those skills are Awakening Power Rise 3 with 5% attack as the rush bonus and have Elemental Conversion 4, the last bonus that can be activated when we equip a Persona skill record. So we will have to waste 1 skill slots with the old Power Crab skills if we want to activate those bonuses.
Okay, I can agree that Leafa Yuki can be on D tier, but Alice should be on C tier. That's it. Alice should be C tier with this Yui. They are kind of similar. The only difference is that Yui has 5% more attack while Alice has Awakening. So they are kind of similar, so they should be on C tier. Meanwhile, Leafa, Yuki, they have crit base. You don't really need that. It's pretty bad when it comes to endgame. The only thing you're benefiting at is the Power Rise 3, the 800 attack, and the element. That's it. We should be on D tier with this Yuki.
The best one out of those 3 is the Fragrant Olive of Rebellion Alice because it gives 50% attack with the power only available during the Persona collaboration last time.
Alright, I forgot. They're also limited, so you can't get them anymore. It has been 5 years. They are gone. Forever gone.
Oh, and I missed these 2 skills here. So these 2 skills actually is skills that belong to the C tier, so it has the same bonus as everything else that we have on there, except that this 2 has a Shine Boost 4, so let me put
okay, these 2 here on B tier.
This quickly into the C tier. Okay, so this is the Power Rise 3.
So that is his Power Rise tier list. Yeah, I don't really agree with this one. Okay, let me make my own. Okay, I'm done. So this is my tier list for Power Rise 3. Kind of different from comparing to Ogrelink. If we compare it, this is his tier list. Not that many. Here I have a lot of that on A tier, on B, only 3 on S. I totally agree with that. A lot on B tier, a lot on A tier, then we have some C for utility and stuff and how strong they are, and then D, pretty useless, and of course we have the F trashed Vecta. Definitely agree on that. We have a lot of different opinion when it comes to Power Rise, that is for sure, we can see that. But hey, everyone has different opinion and we can disagree and agree. Maybe we can do a community voting which tier they should be on. It depends, right? So yeah, that is my reaction to Ogrelink's Power Rise 3. I could see that we had different opinion when it comes to Power Rise. I mean, he had rated on these Power Rise on C, meanwhile I rated them on B tier. So we are definitely an opinion when it comes to Power Rise. So yeah, pretty long recording, but hey, we are now done. Thank you guys for watching, see you guys next time, take care now, and bye bye.